Now, no one seems to give a fuck about second year, but she counts, so I feel like we should probably talk about her a little bit more than freshers and all of that jazz and all of that stuff. So, I'm here to bring you today, I'm Alice Kate, by the way, you might recognize me from TikTok or Instagram. I'm here to bring you my second year survival guide, academic version. There's gonna be more like social life is a whole different thing in second year. It exists, don't get me wrong, but it's a different life than freshers. I'm here to give you my little insights into how I personally survived second year, because not to toot my own horn, but I'm going into final year now and I made it through the craziness that is second year, even more crazy than freshers, some might add. So strap yourself down, sit back, relax. I'm about to give you all of my insights into how to academically thrive and actually get a good degree in second year, because when I tell you she is hard, yikes. So if this interests you, then like and subscribe. I'm going to be posting more of these videos, and also go follow my other socials, Instagram, TikTok. I make funny skits about things where I'm not actually helpful, I'm just funny. So go check those out. Okay, so tip number one for dealing with academics when you get to second year is first, see if there is any essential reading and see which ones are actually essential and which ones are just a load of bullshit. Because some of those readings, they'll give you like a full textbook that's like the size of like a building, and you don't need to read it, I promise you. It is not worth your time. Go through the readings, see which ones actually seem reasonable, look at the book, and if the book seems kind of interesting or kind of like it's gonna have some stuff, pick out the important chapters and read those. Don't bother with the important stuff, read the articles that they set you. Don't read the textbook that's like ridiculously long. Following on from that, you should have like a module layout for the year. Read the different layouts of the different modules. That will tell you what they're expecting from you this year. The module handbooks are so helpful. I didn't use them enough. I used them in my second term and not in my first term. They literally tell you what they are looking for in that module and how to get a first. It is honestly game changer. I don't know why I didn't see it before. Also, this applies for freshers as well, like first years, third years. Read the module like guidelines. They literally say, we expect ABC. You're gonna learn ABC. It's so simple. If you read those and you implement some of the things that they're telling you into your writings and your essays and your coursework, they are going to love you. They're gonna be like, this girl, she knows what she's talking about. She got that shit, and you're gonna come out of second, you're like, yeah. I ate that shit up. Okay, so read the module handbooks. The guidelines are there for a reason. I need to read mine for third year. I've not done that yet. I moved back in a month. Pray for me. Next up, following on with the readings, learn to skim read. It's gonna be your best friend, especially if you do a very heavy reading degree. I would say that learning to skim read is going to be your best friend. You don't need to read every single individual detail. The words and, that, and they aren't gonna be that important to you in the long run. Read the start, the middle, and the bottom, cut out the chunks in between. If you learn to like fly your eyes across, you'll get some of it in. Needless, it won't all be there, but the stuff that you're truly gonna learn is in your lectures, not in your readings. I would say with your readings, if you're skim reading them, skim read it before and after a lecture, because before you're gonna get some idea of what you're doing, and after you're gonna get a little bit more idea of how it works. So moving on, I'm very speeding through this. Moving on from skim reading, read before and after. But if you can only do one, read after. I know people say before, but I personally have found that reading after is so much more helpful simply because you have an understanding of what's going on and you're just solidifying your knowledge. I found that if I read before, I didn't know what was going on, to be honest, and I'd be reading all these big words and I'd be like, what the is she going on about, you know, like reading these big words and I don't have a clue what they're saying. But if you read it after your lecturer is giving you this ground knowledge of what you need to do, a basic understanding of the terminology, and the reading gets it a little bit further in, a little bit more in. If you've got a seminar, read before, obviously, because they're going to ask you questions about it and what you need to do. But if you're doing a lecture, I would say read after. It works differently for everyone, but what I personally found as someone who does not enjoy reading, I don't know who would enjoy reading, what a psychopath. I found it better to read after, because reading after, it just makes you feel a little bit more knowledgeable, if that makes sense. And I don't know about you, but I quite like feeling knowledgeable, especially in second year, because I can just be like, oh, do you know about XYZ? Yeah, actually I do. I actually do know about the theory of attachment. Let me tell you all the styles. It feels good, doesn't it? Next up, find your study groove very quick. What you like to do. Do you like flashcards? Do you like Notion? Do you like writing things down? I was a big Notion girly last year. I didn't use it in first year. I used big Word documents. I would say using things like Word documents and not going to be helpful in second year, because all the stuff you've written about is everywhere. You know, it's all through this massive Word document. Ooh, that was a hiccup. It's all through this massive Word document, and Notion allows you to lay things out a little bit easier. I do have a Notion. I love my Notion. It allows you to do subgroups and subgroups of words and subgroups of a bullet point, and it allows you to organize things, and it allows you to set yourself a time for when a deadline is due. It allows you to plan your day. Everything is in one, and I found that very helpful. But find the way that works for you. If you're someone that likes writing things down, write things down. If you are someone who likes typing things up in a mind map, make your notes in a fucking mind map. I'm not here to judge you, okay? But you've got to find what works for you, and if you didn't do that in first year, please use the first term of second year to do it, because you can sacrifice that first term, but you can't sacrifice the second, and you can't sacrifice year 3. You need that way that works for you. Along those lines, find how you revise. For me, call me crazy, I can't hack the library because I speak to myself when I revise. It is weird, and I haven't met many other people that do it. I sit in my room, I read my notes, and instead of writing it all out on paper, like blurting, I blurt it out loud because my writing is really slow and it slows me down, so I speak it and then afterwards I write it. But find the way that works for you, okay? The same with revision. You must find what works for you. If you don't find what works for you, second year is going to be really, really difficult. For lack of a better word. But that is just me saying what worked for me. That might not work for you. You might hate Notion. You might hate speaking when you revise. It's about you. Don't listen to what other people are doing in this year. No comparing. No saying, oh, I don't make 1,000 flashcards to revise. You might not need to. I don't make any flashcards to revise. They don't help me. My best friend makes 1,000 flashcards because that's the way she revises. You're different people. Okay, and now a sit me down moment. You're gonna have to start that assignment on time. Starting it late is not gonna benefit you in any way, shape, or form, and you're just gonna end up crying in your bed over a tub of Ben & Jerry's at about 9 p.m. the night before it's due. And you're gonna hate it, and you're gonna go, why did I end up here? Start the assignment early. That doesn't necessarily mean writing the assignment early, it means starting it. I think people get confused with the difference between starting an assignment and writing an assignment. In my opinion, starting an assignment means you sit down, you open the document, you write a title, and you find a few papers that you're going to read. You don't necessarily read them, you just find them. You read through the brief, you read through what they want, and you find a few papers. That's starting it, okay? So you do that for maybe 2 modules at the very start of term. You don't necessarily have to write the assignment until a little bit closer to the deadline, but at least give yourself a little heads up for a few of them. So if anything crazy happens along the line, say you're incredibly hungover, say you have to run home for a family emergency, say your group project is going tits up and you're like, oh my god, I've got this other thing to do at the same time, you've got those few papers that you can start reading, and they are there and they are ready for you, and you don't have to stress about it. I would say, however, don't write them at the last second. It won't help you. Sometimes you need to. I know there was one time I was running a big event for my society. I had this essay due and I hadn't started it because there was 3 other ones due in the same fucking week. That's something that will happen in second year, by the way. Yeah. So there might be some that are unavoidable, but as long as you've got the main bulk of them done, that one is okay to be written like the day before or so. As long as the most of them you start early, you can get away with writing one a little bit close to the time. I'm not going to tell you not to write one close to the time because you're better off you've written it than you haven't written it, but it's easier for you to be prepared. So yeah. Okay, this is my golden one that I don't know if many people do. I only started doing it at the end of second year, but I would have done it 1,000 times earlier. I would have done it like at the beginning of first year had I had a brain. It is read your feedback and write it down in a way that is possible for you to use in your next assignment. So when I got feedback at the end of second year, I collated all of my feedback from every single assignment I had, put it into ChatGPT and said, hey, what am I good at? What do I need to continue doing? What do I need to work on? And this game changer, because now I have a little list of what I need to keep including, what is constantly being brought up as one of my strengths that's dragging my grades up, that's making it good, and also what my weaknesses are that are slightly dragging my grades down. So in that way, I'm not just focusing on my weaknesses, because if I focus too much on my weaknesses, I'm gonna lose those strengths and they're gonna be out the window before I can even see them. But if I've got them both there, then when I'm next writing my essay, I can refer to my little ChatGPT happily made list and say, okay, cool, I'm really good at writing an introduction, so I need to copy the introduction layout from my previous essays, but I'm pretty fucking shit at writing a conclusion, so I need to not write the same conclusion as I normally do, read some past paper essay examples, read some of my friends' essays, maybe do some research into how to write a good conclusion, and go from there. And maybe I need to spend more time proofreading my conclusion than I do in my introduction. It's that sort of thing that's really going to help you out in second year, is looking at your feedback and saying, right, I need to focus on this, not this, because I'm telling you, that is a game changer for me. When I started doing that, second term, I think of second year it was, I got some of the highest grades I've ever gotten in my life. Like grades, I do a essay-based degree, and if you do an essay-based degree, you know it's really, really hard to get those high grades. It's like almost unheard of in some places. And after I started doing that, my grades in some of my subjects, and I just sort of went, oh my god, like, I didn't know this was achievable, and I'm very proud of myself. I bought myself a little cheeky sweet treat that day because it meant a lot to me. Reward yourself, please I beg. Reward yourself if you do well, reward yourself if you have a cry. Reward yourself for everything in second year academically, because if you do something good, it doesn't need to be a sweet treat. If you do something good, your brain's going to associate that with doing something good, and you're going to replicate it again later on. If you're just constantly saying, this is the basics, this is the standard, this is what I should be doing every single time, your brain is going to be like, less motivated to do it. I find treating yourself a really important part of academics. If I did a good grade, if I got a good grade, I would read my feedback and go, great, cool, that's really nice, that feels good, but I'm going to treat myself to a night out. I'm going to buy myself a coffee. I'm going to get myself a sweet treat. I'm going to get that book that I've been wanting to read. That sort of thing. It's just nice. Something that isn't normally what you would do, but it just gives you a little boost and motivates you to do well in your next one. It's sort of a psychology thing. I do psychology. It's sort of that reward punishment idea. I don't punish myself when I get a bad grade though. It's just the rewards that I'm using because it just makes me feel good, you know? And lastly, my advice on referencing. I would say referencing is a massive part of second year, especially in first year. First year, they don't really give a fuck if you do badly at referencing. Second year, they care a little bit more. And the amount of times I was flagged for my referencing, I don't even want to start talking about that. It's embarrassing that I still can't properly reference. However, I know about referencing as you go. And referencing as you go is so important. Do not look for a reference as you're writing. What I do is really important, and I think it's a very good way to write an essay, and I've been praised on it by a few of my markers, and they've said that they can see it in my essays, is that what I do is I don't come up with the concept for my essay myself. I let the references do it for me. I find a fuck ton of studies and research and things like that, and websites and stuff. I do psychology, so it's mostly studies, and I put them all in a big list with these links, and then I skim read the little bit at the top of every single one. It takes me about a day or two to do this, but it's worth it. And then I write down what they're talking about, sort of what their main points are, what their view is on this question that we've been given for an essay, and then from there I organize those references into like, this is point A, point B, point C, and I let that build my essay. And then I've got my 3 main points in my essay, I've got some studies for my introduction, I've got my conclusion done, because point A is stronger than point B and C, or point B is actually, when you think about it all together, yes, there's less evidence for it, but it's stronger than A and C, that sort of thing. And the references do it for me, and then all I need to do is literally, my essay is written for me just in references. All I have to do is put what they've done into my own words, and it is a game changer for referencing, because instead of stressing and writing and then being like, oh, I need a reference to this point, and then you can't find it, or it doesn't quite say what you wanted to say, or you just can't find one, full stop. It's a lot easier, and I think it takes less time. Yes, you have to sit yourself down and force yourself to go through Google Scholar and like PubMed and Web of whatever it's called, Web of Knowledge, and you have to sit yourself down, and it is long. But you can sit yourself in the library with a nice little coffee and get it done within like 3 hours one day, 3 hours the next day, done. And then you just have to write your essay, and then you have to cut it down and stuff like that. I just think for referencing wise, that is so much easier to do and just so much more effective, especially in second year. First year you can get away with this waffle, second year you can't really, and third year you can't at all, and I'm terrified for that because I do like a waffle. bit of a waffler myself. But those are my little tips on how to do well academically in second year. I think I'm going to make a video on sort of social life, emotional well-being, that sort of thing in second year, because it's different than first year. And I'm praying third year is similar to second because I can't learn this all over again. There's a lot of stuff out there, tips for first year, and second year there's not too much. So I hope this helps you out. And if you're not even in second year, I hope this helps you out anyway, because these tips, they help everyone. It's just partially for second years because second year is a stressful year and no one fucking talks about it. So I hope you enjoyed. Go check out my other socials. It's Alice Kate with an X instead of an A on quite a lot of things and a double E on Instagram. So go check it out. I hope you liked my first video. This is kind of terrifying. I'm going to be doing more of them in the future. Very excited. Drop below what you want me to talk about more, if there's any topics that you want me to cover about university, about grad life, about my life in general, about moving out, anything along those lines. I'm here to talk about it. But I enjoyed talking about this and I'll be back same time next week with another video. Bye!